Welcome back to our Express Pilates class. Glad you can join us. My name's Chris Neeson. I'm an exercise physiologist and clinical Pilates instructor. Today I wanted to look at pelvic instability and how we can use Pilates to help treat pelvic instability, which is normally associated with pelvic girdle pain. People will often have it after pregnancies or abdominal surgeries, or just when you've got that real lack of weakness around the pelvis. And what happens at the pelvis, we just get this excessive side to side tilting, forwards and back rotation. Quite often that's linked in with low back pain when you've got the pelvis moving and unstable. The lower back is unstable as well. So we're just going to look at some really nice exercises to help to build that strength and to improve everything that's going on here. And the goal is to help increase your stability, increase your mobility, which can be a problem as well, and then treat that pain, which is the biggest thing. So let's make a start and we'll talk more about it as we go. To get everything warmed up, we're just going to start rolling the knees side to side. Have your feet together, have the arms out to the side so you balance, and we're just dropping the knees out to the side, bringing them back to the middle and then coming out to the other side. You're just going to feel a little bit of stretch through the side of the pelvis, side to side. Letting those knees roll and relax out each time. If you do have a little bit of back pain, if you've got that pelvic girdle pain, either the SIJ, the hip joint at the back, or your pubic symphysis at the middle of the pelvis at the front, this is just a nice way to loosen up without getting too quickly into the exercise, without aggravating anything to start with. Okay, I want you to separate your feet on the mat, bring them out wide, and then we're just rolling the knees side to side and going again. If you're unsure, if you haven't been diagnosed with pelvic girdle pain, but you're unsure whether or not you might have it, there isn't any classical clinical diagnosis, but typically it's just seen when the pelvis tilts excessively side to side when we're walking or getting out up and down out of chairs or jogging or any of those movements. What you'll feel like is you'll just feel really weak and unstable around that midsection, particularly if you were to go to run or do something like that. And normally it's associated with pain because there just isn't that strength there to support those muscles. So we will look at strengthening those muscles today. In this same position, your knees about hip distance apart. I want you in a neutral spine, so you've just got a very small gap under your lower back and just follows that natural curve of the spine. Hands on your hip bones at the front, those two bony parts at the front of the pelvis. That's going to give us some feedback. I want you engaging your deeper core muscles. We can just gently lift the pelvic floor and draw your belly button down. And we're just floating the leg up into tabletop, holding for a second, and then placing back down the mat. With your hands, making sure your hip bones didn't rotate as the leg comes up. Let's go the same on the other side. Each time, relax, just get reset, engage your deeper core muscles, and then bring the leg up into tabletop, and then placing back down, relaxing in between. If you're not 100% sure how to engage those deeper core muscles, check out our website on the resources section under our exercise tutorials, and you'll see a bit of information there and a really nice video on how to step to step get those muscles switching on. If you're finding that easy enough and you feel like your pelvis is still stable, bring one leg up and hold. Keep your core muscles on, bring your second leg up. The first leg then comes down, and the second leg comes down. That whole time the pelvis stays still really nicely controlled. So in Pilates, this exercise is called leg floats or bug legs. It's a really nice one to start to use your core muscles to stabilize the pelvis. You can just alternate your right leg first and then your left leg first. Doesn't matter too much as long as we're keeping everything balanced. Relaxing in between, engaging your core muscles, and then going again. First we want to learn how to do it in this position where we're nice and isolated, and then we take this same core engagement and pelvic stability into other exercises. Good. I'm just going to do one more. And if you're following along at home, you can pause here and do a few more, but we're going to just keep on moving. So that's getting those deeper core muscles working, hands supporting the back of your neck, and we're going to come up into a crunch, curling up and rolling back down. Now we're working out our abdominal muscles. The abdominals are really important in pelvic stability. They help balance out tightness in your hip flexors and lower back, which is often seen. So it's not just a lack of strength, it's also combined with tightness and overactivity in the wrong muscle. So if we get our abdominals working, it is going to help balance that out a lot. Elbows are out wide, chins are onto your chest, we're curling up. If you want to make it more challenging, bring your legs up into tabletop and continue with the legs up in tabletop. Making sure that you've got that control, your back doesn't feel like it's overworking or overarching. Let's do 10 more of these. Keep your breathing going. We can inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Elbows are out wide. Trying to lift up, curl up just a little bit higher. You should feel those abdominal muscles tiring. We're still thinking about engaging our deeper muscles, still lifting through the pelvic floor and drawing our belly button down. That way our spine's protected. I think we've got about 3 more to go. Let's count it out. 1, 2, elbows out wide, rolling down, and last one, 3, and bring the knees into the chest. Just doing some small circles, rolling the knees side to side. So that's our abdominal muscles. At the back, our glutes support our pelvis. So I want you lying on your side. We're going to get those glutes working and switching on really well. Doing clams. If you've done one of the classes before, you might have done these before with me. Head resting on your arm, knees bent, heels together. We're just going to start lifting our knee up and down. Your hand is on your bum here. I want you to feel the muscles switching on. Your glutes, the muscles there, we want to feel them tensing up each time. That just helps to make sure they're switching on and they're activating properly. A big problem when we have that pelvic girdle instability, we get low back pain and then our glutes get turned off and they get switched down. It's just like the dampener switch gets turned up so they're not working as well. If you're finding this easy enough, what I want you to do is try it with your feet lifted, bringing that knee up and down. Most important thing here is keeping your hip bone still to make sure it's not rotating forwards or back. If you find you lose a lot of control with the feet lifted, just bring them back down. No point going harder if you can't do it properly. I just want you to build up slowly week by week. 10 more of these, go a little bit quicker. Squeezing that glute as it comes up. That's 3, 4, 5, should be burning now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Rest your feet down, rest your knees down, swing around up the other end, and then we're going on the other side. So with our glutes, we've got a few different muscles in there. Let's go straight into it. You've got your glute max at the back, then you've got your glute med and min at the side. Those two smaller ones, your glute med and your glute minimus, they help support the pelvis so they're not dropping side to side as you walk. We don't have this lateral instability. The glute max at the back, that helps to drive your hips forwards, helps to balance out any tightness of the lower back and the hip flexors as well, just like the abdominals are. Again, if you're finding that easy enough, feet lifted, that same movement with your feet lifted. If you really want to see some benefit and change through doing these exercises, you need to do them regularly, ideally every day, particularly if you're getting a little bit of back pain. Got 6 more on this side. That's 1, keep that tempo up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and resting it down. Well done. Up onto your hands and knees now. Going to come into a neutral spine, so with a straight back. Keeping your shoulders lifted. Just going to start one leg at a time, stretching it away, lifting up, and then placing it back down on the mat. What we're trying to do is move from our hips here. So I've got just that leg coming out and the lower back stays still. If you watch my lower back before you get into it, it's not dropping or sinking down as we go. It's keeping it straight there. I'm just going side to side, keeping that stability through the lower back. A really nice way to make sure you are keeping that stability is just to place something on your lower back, like a ball. I've got one here. If you don't have a ball or something, you can just add like a cushion. You can go on the lower back, just in that small divot. If I can get it in place to start. And in that position, just try to stretch your leg away without the ball moving, and bring your knee back down. And same on the other side. Just alternating one leg to the other, keeping that stability. If you've just got that nice neutral lumbar curve, the ball should stay there. If we don't have very good stability, you're going to find this really hard because the hips will just be going side to side and that ball will drop off as you go. If you find that easy enough, add in your opposite arm. So as the legs stretch away, stretch out your opposite arm as well. Same thing applies, lower back stays neutral, pelvis stays level from one side to the other. Got a few more here. Try to reach out as far as you can. That helps to lengthen through the lower back and keep that neutral posture. Do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and last one, stretching out. 5, knees down, sit back onto your heels in child's pose. Come over onto your back. I was saying before, your hip flexors are typically really tight along with your lower back, but they're not always that strong. It's normally tightness matched up with weakness. So we're going to finish off just by strengthening those, working a little bit more on your abdominal strength. In our starting position, the knees are bent, feet about hip distance apart. Bring the leg up to the tabletop, stretch it out and down, back to tabletop, then back down the mat. Same on the other side. As your leg stretches away, make sure you can keep your lower back in neutral and it's not tilting forwards and arching up here. You can even think about just flattening your lower back down a little bit to further accentuate that position. If that's easy enough there, bring both legs up, that same movement with both legs. We're just going to do 10 more, keeping your lower back down, engaging through your deeper abdominals, pelvic floor lifted. Last 6, keep that position, shoulders stay relaxed, neck stays relaxed, making sure the pelvis isn't arching or tilting forwards. 3, 2, and last one, hug your knees back into your chest, just some small circles, rolling them side to side. Great job with those exercises, but the main thing, like I was saying before, you've got to do them every day. What you'll find, you'll get a lot stronger really quickly if you can stick to that plan. One last thing before you go, if you enjoyed the class today, leave your email address below. What we've got coming up is a 5-week program on treating pelvic girdle pain. It covers all the exercises you need, posture tips, work tips, everything else to treat and fix your problem. Leave your email address below and we'll send out all the information once we've got that program fully up and running. Have a great week.